Great evening, holy brothers and sisters, on this magical Motzi Shabbos of May 12th. Today was the 27th of Iyar, for those counting the 42nd day of the Omer, and today's lesson in the Kitzur Likutei Moharan will be called Suffering Separations, teaching number 117. On Saturday night, exactly like tonight, after the conclusion of Shabbos, the revelation of the prophet Elijah begins, and this in turn pushes away falsehood, which is identified with the primordial snake that brought death into the world. This is the reason why it is difficult to fall asleep on this night, since the concept of sleep is also one of falsehood, of death, and the snake. The further explanation is that Havdalah ceremony at the conclusion of Shabbos is identified with the concept of understanding, since if there is no understanding, how will there be Havdalah? Literally, distinction. Yerushalmi Brachos 5:2. Therefore, it is difficult to fall asleep then, because sleep involves the departure of one's understanding. Teaching number 118, the Foresh Halimud, on explaining what one studies. When a person studies something in Torah, it is good for him to explain what he studies in a language that he understands, and this is the practice that is beneficial to the world. You can understand that in three ways. One is that it helps himself understand what he's learning better. Two, that he can better teach it to other people. And three, that it helps bring positive energies into the world. The greatest tzaddik, the righteous one, of each generation is an aspect of Moshe and Mashiach. Now, when the tzaddik originates new Torah ideas, this is conceptually the Spirit of God, that is the Spirit of Mashiach, hovered over the face of the waters, water being the Torah, Zohar 1:192b. And just as Mashiach suffers sickness for the entire Jewish people in order to atone for them, the greatest tzaddik of each generation also suffers some affliction for the Jewish people in order to make it easier for them. Furthermore, the fact that we're unable to comprehend the original Torah teachings of the tzaddik the way that they are, meaning the way that they left the mouth of the tzaddik in the exalted heights, and instead they must be explained to us in a lower form, whether it's a Yiddish form or a non-sacred tongue like English, which people are accustomed to speaking. This too is an aspect of he was stricken, mecholal, because of our transgressions, from Isaiah 53:5. In other words, he is made non-sacred or chol because of us, Zohar 3:280a. And for the tzaddik, this too is considered a type of suffering which atones for the Jewish people. It is always good to study and explain things in our language, something that we can understand and relate to, but in order to keep the Torah elevated in a more powerful form, we should always try to speak these words in their proper Hebrew original forms. So whether we're learning or whether we're davening and praying, we always want to do something that we can understand to make it so much more meaningful, but also be able to say it in the proper form of Hebrew, because that was the original language, that was which the world is recreated for each and every day. It is quote unquote like God's speech. So make an effort to speak in Torah, to learn in Hebrew language, and if you don't know the Hebrew language, try to learn some Hebrew letters and whatever you can do to try to bring things up and elevate it to the highest forms. As always, thank you so much for learning together. If you enjoyed this lesson, please remember to like, comment, share, and borrow, and please God, we'll learn again tomorrow.